Welcome to Top Animal Zone.
Top 8 animals with strange eating habits. When it comes to the act of eating, most of us imagine ordinary scenes. A herd of grazers bending down to the grass, or a predator chasing after its prey. But the natural world rarely settles for the ordinary. Hidden in the wilderness are creatures that turn mealtime into something truly extraordinary. Some animals feed in ways that seem bizarre, even unsettling to us. Yet behind those unusual dining habits lies pure genius. Clever survival tactics shaped by millions of years of evolution. From consuming what others overlook to transforming the impossible into a source of life, these creatures reveal nature's boundless creativity. Join us as we step into this fascinating chapter of the wild, exploring 8 animals whose strange diets are not only curiosities, but also powerful lessons in adaptation and resilience. 1. Mountain goat. When most people think of mountain goats, the first image that comes to mind is of a hardy animal grazing on grass and shrubs high up in the mountains. But their diet is far more unusual than it seems. Living in rugged, rocky terrain often means limited access to fresh vegetation, and more importantly, a lack of vital minerals. To survive, mountain goats have developed a remarkable and rather odd feeding habit. They lick rocks and even eat soil. This strange behavior is not random. By licking rocks and consuming soil, mountain goats are able to absorb crucial minerals such as sodium, calcium, magnesium, and zinc nutrients that are often missing from grass and leaves. These minerals are essential for maintaining strong bones, proper nerve function, and muscle development. Without them, goats would not have the strength or balance required to climb steep cliffs and leap effortlessly across dangerous ledges. Scientists have documented astonishing scenes where mountain goats risk their lives by climbing sheer dam walls or vertical cliff faces just to reach tiny deposits of salt or mineral-rich rocks. Watching these animals delicately balance on near-impossible surfaces simply to get a lick of salt is both breathtaking and bewildering. What may look like a quirky or amusing habit is actually a powerful survival strategy. By supplementing their diet in this unusual way, mountain goats ensure their bodies remain resilient and capable of enduring one of the harshest environments on Earth. Their odd taste for rocks and soil is a living example of nature's creativity, proving that survival often depends not on abundance, but on adaptability. 2. Albatross. High above the endless blue horizon, a great shadow drifts silently with the wind. It is the albatross, a master of the skies and the seas, known as the eternal voyager of the ocean. With wings stretching wider than most men are tall, this bird can roam thousands of kilometers without a single flap, gliding for weeks over rolling waves and stormy skies. But to survive such a life in the open ocean, where rivers and lakes are nothing but distant memories, the albatross carries a hidden gift: the ability to drink directly from the sea itself. While most birds would perish from salt poisoning, the albatross thrives. Its secret lies in a remarkable salt gland positioned just above the beak, near the nasal passage. This natural filter draws out excess salt from seawater, releasing it as a briny solution that trickles from the bird's nostrils or glistens along the edge of its beak. What remains is life-giving fresh water, enough to sustain the albatross through journeys that stretch far beyond the reach of land. This adaptation makes the albatross one of the most resilient seabirds on Earth. Unlike others bound to rivers, lakes, or rainfall, it drinks straight from the heart of the ocean, untethered, unstoppable. More than a symbol of freedom, the albatross embodies nature's brilliance in crafting survival against impossible odds. Each time it glides effortlessly across the sky, it reminds us that even in the harshest environments, life always finds a way. 3. Woodpeckers. 3. Woodpeckers. What if a bird could turn a tree into both a pantry and a sugar fountain? Deep in the forest, the steady tapping of a woodpecker echoes like nature's heartbeat. Known for chiseling into bark to find hidden insects, these birds are master foragers. armed with powerful beaks and extraordinary tongues designed to reach prey others cannot. When people think of woodpeckers, the first image that usually comes to mind is of these birds hammering away at tree trunks, searching for hidden insects. However, what makes woodpeckers particularly fascinating is their occasional taste for something quite unexpected: tree sap. When their constant pecking punctures the bark, sugary sap seeps out. This natural source of sugar acts as a quick energy boost, especially useful during seasons when insects are less abundant. In this way, consuming tree sap becomes a clever survival strategy that allows woodpeckers to adapt to changing food availability. Even more remarkable is that some species have learned to use sap in a strategic way. By deliberately creating small holes in the bark, they encourage sap to flow, which in turn attracts insects. The birds then benefit twice, feeding on the sweet sap itself, while also catching the additional insects that are lured to the sticky substance. This behavior highlights their intelligence and resourcefulness in finding food. The woodpecker's unusual habit of feeding on sap reminds us that in nature, even animals with a seemingly fixed diet can adapt creatively to make the most of their surroundings. It is this versatility and ingenuity that make woodpeckers one of the most fascinating and surprising bird species in the wild. 4. Red kangaroo. The red kangaroo, an iconic symbol of Australia, is best known for its powerful hind legs and extraordinary jumping ability. Its main diet consists of grasses and leaves, which are generally low in nutrients. However, what makes the red kangaroo particularly fascinating is its unusual habit of eating soil during times of food scarcity. In dry and arid regions, when grasslands wither and leaves become scarce, red kangaroos often turn to patches of mineral-rich soil and consume it. This behavior, known as geophagy, provides them with essential trace elements such as sodium, calcium, iron, and zinc nutrients that their regular plant-based diet cannot always supply. In addition, the soil plays an important role in neutralizing toxins from certain plants or grasses they are forced to eat during harsh conditions, thereby protecting their digestive system. Interestingly, geophagy is not unique to kangaroos. Many other animals also practice soil consumption to maintain mineral balance. However, for red kangaroos, this habit is especially crucial because they inhabit deserts and semi-arid environments where food shortages occur regularly. The soil-eating behavior of the red kangaroo is a remarkable example of survival adaptation. It demonstrates how wildlife can develop creative and unexpected strategies to thrive under challenging circumstances. Thanks to this unique trait, red kangaroos have not only survived but also flourished, becoming one of the most recognizable and enduring animal icons of an entire continent. 5. Butterflies. When you picture a butterfly, what comes to mind? Perhaps a vision of delicate wings glowing in the sunlight, drifting gracefully from flower to flower in search of nectar. It's an image of beauty, fragility, and peace. But behind this romantic scene lies a startling secret. Butterflies are not always the gentle nectar drinkers we imagine. Some have developed a far stranger appetite. They drink the tears of other animals. This behavior, known as latrophagy, literally tear feeding, is both unusual and ingenious. With their long, straw-like proboscis, butterflies gently land on the eyes of turtles, crocodiles, or even humans, and sip away at tears. Strange as it seems, this serves an essential purpose. Nectar is sweet, but it lacks certain minerals, especially sodium. Tears, rich in salt and nutrients, provide butterflies with the elements they need to survive, maintain balance in their bodies, and thrive in environments where resources are scarce, and tears are not their only unconventional meal. In the wild, butterflies have been caught feeding on sweat, lapping up animal urine, and even extracting fluids from rotting carcasses. These habits may clash with their delicate image, yet they reveal the remarkable adaptability of these insects. Survival, after all, often requires finding nourishment in places others would never consider. The butterfly's tear-drinking habit is a reminder that nature is full of surprises. Beneath the fragile wings of these graceful creatures lies a survival strategy as strange as it is fascinating. proof that beauty and resilience often coexist in the most unexpected ways. 6. Earthworms. Earthworms are some of the most familiar yet incredibly important creatures in the ecosystem. Living quietly underground, they perform tasks that often go unnoticed, but are essential for maintaining soil fertility and ecological balance. Their eating habits are truly unique. Earthworms swallow soil into their bodies and use their specialized digestive system to filter out nutrients from decaying leaves, tiny roots, microorganisms, and other decomposed organic matter. After digestion, the remaining soil is expelled in the form of small, crumbly pellets. These pellets are rich in nutrients and have a special structure that improves soil fertility, increases water retention, and provides valuable minerals for plants. In addition to enriching the soil, the tunneling activity of earthworms creates countless tiny channels underground. These tunnels aerate the soil, allowing air and water to penetrate more deeply and reach plant roots more effectively. Because of this, earthworms are often called the silent farmers of nature, working tirelessly to maintain and nurture the land they inhabit. What's truly remarkable is that, despite their small size, earthworms have a massive impact on the entire ecosystem. Many scientists even claim that without earthworms, soil quality would quickly deteriorate. Crop growth would decline, and the entire food chain could be disrupted. In this way, through their seemingly strange eating habits, earthworms demonstrate that sometimes the tiniest creatures play the most fundamental roles in the balance of nature. 7. Leafcutter ants. Leafcutter ants are among the most fascinating insects when it comes to unusual eating habits. Unlike many other ant species, they do not directly consume the leaves they tirelessly cut and carry back to their nests. Instead, these leaves serve only as the raw material for a far more remarkable process: mushroom farming. Every day, thousands of leafcutter ants work together like parts of a giant machine, cutting fresh green leaves and transporting them back home. Once in the nest, they chew the leaves into a pulp, creating a nutrient-rich substrate. On this substrate, a special type of fungus begins to grow. This fungus becomes the ant's primary food source, rather than the leaves themselves. In this way, leafcutter ants can be seen as true farmers of the insect world, cultivating their own food through a unique form of agriculture. This relationship is made all the more fascinating by their mutual dependence. The fungi rely on the leaves provided by the ants to grow, while the ants are completely dependent on the fungi to survive. Without the fungi, the ants would starve. Without the ants, the fungi would not survive. This is a perfect example of symbiosis in nature, where two species have evolved to depend on each other for their entire lives. Leafcutter ants also have a highly organized division of labor. The larger ants are responsible for cutting and carrying leaves, while the smaller ones care for the fungus and protect it from harmful bacteria or molds. Through this well-coordinated teamwork, the colony can remain stable and productive for many years. This unusual indirect eating habit of leafcutter ants is not only extraordinary, but also proves that intelligence and innovation are not exclusive to humans. Within their tiny world, these ants have developed a sophisticated agricultural system that showcases the incredible creativity of nature itself. 8. Dung beetle. The dung beetle may sound unusual at first, but it is actually one of the most fascinating insects with an extraordinary way of life. These beetles are famous for rolling animal droppings into round balls, often much larger than their own bodies. With incredible strength, some dung beetle species can push dung balls weighing 50 to 100 times their own body weight, an achievement that would be almost impossible if compared to human strength. What makes them truly unique is not just the act of eating dung, but the way they use it as a valuable resource. For dung beetles, animal feces are both food and a nursery. After shaping the dung into balls, they roll them to a safe location, dig a hole, and bury them underground. The female then lays her eggs inside the dung ball. Once the larvae hatch, they have immediate access to a rich food supply, which sustains them until they are ready to grow into adult beetles. Beyond survival, this strange behavior also plays a crucial role in the ecosystem. By burying dung underground, dung beetles help fertilize the soil, recycle nutrients, and reduce the spread of parasites or diseases found in animal waste. In other words, they act as silent cleaners of the environment, maintaining healthy grasslands and keeping ecosystems balanced. Even more astonishing, some studies have shown that dung beetles can navigate using the Milky Way. At night, they are able to roll their dung balls in a straight line by orienting themselves with the stars. It's an extremely rare navigational skill in the insect world. Thanks to this bizarre yet beneficial habit, dung beetles stand as a living example of nature's ingenuity, transforming something humans consider dirty into a source of life and a key factor in sustaining ecological harmony. The strange eating habits we've explored remind us that every behavior in nature has a purpose. What seems bizarre to us is often the key to survival for animals in their environments. These habits show just how diverse and adaptable life can be. Thank you for watching Top Animal Zone. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next adventure into the wild world of animals.